Hi there. As a vet, I see a lot of worried pet owners, and few things cause more immediate concern than seeing something wrong with your cat's eyes. One minute they're bright, clear, beautiful, and the next, something's just off. If you're watching this, you've probably seen exactly that, and you're looking for answers. Well, you've come to the right place. Let's walk through this together.
So what does that off look like? Maybe you've seen them pawing at their face, or you've caught them doing that little squint that just tugs at your heartstrings because you know it's not normal. Or maybe the eye is all weepy, maybe even a little gooey. It can be a pretty subtle sign, but your gut is telling you something's bothering them. And your gut is right.
And of course, your mind just starts racing, right? Is it serious? Did they get scratched? Is it an infection? Are they in pain? It's totally normal to feel that wave of anxiety. I mean, this is your little buddy we're talking about. And honestly, not knowing what's going on is the absolute worst part.
Okay, so here's my promise to you. In the next few minutes, we're going to cut through all that confusion. We're going to turn that worry into actual useful knowledge. We'll break down what to look for, what it might mean, and most importantly, how you can help. By the end of this, you're going to feel a whole lot more confident about what to do next. All right, let's get into it. First up, decoding the signs. Think of yourself as a detective. Your cat can't just tell you what's up, but trust me, their eyes are giving us some major clues.
So what are we looking for? Well, you might see some discharge, and you'll want to notice, is it watery, like tears, or is it kind of thick and gunky, maybe yellow or green? That little detail can tell us a lot. You might also see redness and swelling in the pink tissues right around the eyeball. Or maybe the eye itself looks a bit cloudy on the surface. And here's a big one. Cats have a third eyelid that usually stays hidden. If you're suddenly seeing it, that's a huge red flag. Of course, if they're pawing or rubbing at their eye, that's a pretty obvious sign of irritation.
Okay, this is probably the single most important thing I'm going to say. Squinting is not just a cute little thing they do. In cats, squinting equals pain. They are absolute masters at hiding discomfort, but holding an eye closed or squinting, that's a signal they just can't hide. It's a neon sign flashing "I hurt." So if you see that, you've got to take it seriously. It's time to listen.
So you've seen the signs, you know your cat's in pain. Now what? What's actually causing this? The good news is, while there are a lot of possibilities, most of the time it boils down to just a few common culprits.
Let's break it down into three main buckets. First up, infections. This is things like viruses or bacteria, and the big one here, the number one offender, is feline herpes virus. We'll talk more about that in a sec. Bucket number two, injuries. This is exactly what it sounds like. Maybe a little tussle with another cat, or they ran into a pointy branch. This can cause something called a corneal ulcer, which is basically a painful scratch on the surface of the eye. And bucket number three, underlying illnesses. Sometimes the eye is just telling us there's a problem somewhere else in the body. For example, high blood pressure can cause some really sudden and serious eye issues.
So let's double-click on that feline herpes virus because it's so incredibly common. The best way to think about it is like the cold sore virus in people. Almost every cat gets exposed to it, usually when they're little kittens. And just like a cold sore, the virus never really goes away. It just kind of hangs out, dormant in the body. Then when the cat gets stressed, maybe you move to a new house or get a new dog, poof, it can flare up. That's why these eye problems can seem to pop up from nowhere. It's a lifelong thing, but it's absolutely manageable.
Okay, you've done your detective work and you know it's time to call the vet. I know, nobody loves a vet visit, especially your cat. But let's demystify what's actually going to happen, because knowing what to expect really helps ease the stress.
Look, this is really a team effort between you and your vet. It all starts with your story. Seriously, everything you've noticed at home, the squinting, the discharge when it started, those are the most important clues. Then your vet's going to do a really careful exam of the eye, using some special lights and lenses to look at every little part. And after that, they might suggest a couple of super simple, totally painless tests to figure out exactly what's going on.
One of the neatest tools we have is something called a Fluorescein stain. It sounds fancy, but it's really just a drop of a special, harmless orange dye. We put one little drop in the eye to help us find any tiny scratches on the surface that we could never see on our own.
And here's the cool part. It's kind of like a CSI thing for eyes. The healthy part of the eye's surface is slick, so the orange dye just rolls right off. But if there's a scratch, the dye sinks in and sticks to it. Then we turn off the lights, shine a special blue light on the eye, and bam! Any scratch or ulcer will glow bright neon green. It's an amazing way to pinpoint the exact location and size of the injury. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so we've figured out what's going on.
Now for the most important part, treatment and getting your cat feeling better. And I really want to stress this. The vast majority of the time, there is a clear path forward and a lot of reason for hope.
Now, the treatment plan is always going to be tailored specifically to your cat's problem. Very often, it's going to involve some kind of medicated eye drop, maybe an antibiotic or an antiviral. For some things, we might need oral medication too. Pain relief is also a huge priority. And remember that herpes virus? For those cases, just helping reduce stress at home can make a world of difference. And yeah, sometimes for really bad injuries or certain eyelid problems, surgery might be on the table.
But listen, no matter what the specific treatment is, the goal is always the same: relieve their pain and protect their vision. And the fantastic news is that most eye problems are very treatable. With the right care, your cat can go right back to living a completely happy, comfortable life. This is about getting them back on their paws, not about long-term doom and gloom.
So, if you only remember one thing from all of this, please let it be this. Don't wait and see. Changes in your cat's eyes are always a big deal. Things can go from minor to major pretty darn fast. Getting in touch with your vet right away is the absolute best thing you can do. You know your cat better than anyone, and you are their #1 advocate.
Remember, this information is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for professional veterinary advice. If you have any concerns about your pet's health, please consult with your certified veterinarian. They are your best resource for ensuring your companion lives a long, happy, and healthy life.